Hi, boys and girls. Happy Monday. So, this week we're going to start something new in science. We are going to start learning about weather. So, we have all kinds of weather, all different types during the year. So, we're going to learn about the different kinds of weather and what kinds of storms we have and how to predict the weather, which meteorologists make a lot of money on predicting the weather. And sometimes they're not even right and they still get paid lots of money. So that's probably a pretty good job to go for when you grow up, boys and girls. You don't have to be right when you're the weather person. About weather. Weather is what it's like outside. Sunshine is part of weather. Rain and wind are too. So are heat and cold. Weather can change each day. It can even change each hour. Storms can form in minutes. So it can be sunny 1 minute and pouring rain the next minute. Different places can have different weather. This is due to climate. Climate. Can you say that big word, boys and girls? Climate. Climate is an area's average weather over many years. So if you live in Arizona, you live in a desert climate where it's hot and dry most of the time. If you live in places like Washington State, it's a wet climate. It rains a lot there. And if you live in New Jersey, Riverside, our climate changes through the seasons. So we have different climates at different times of the year. There are three main types of climate. There are Arctic, tropical, and temperate. So here's the Arctic zone, here's the temperate zone, and here's the tropical zone. And down again, you get the temperate and the Arctic. Arctic areas have cold weather. The ground is always frozen. So if you live in the Arctic or Antarctica, you have Arctic weather and the ground is always frozen. That's where polar bears live up in the Arctic. Penguins live all the way down on the opposite side of the world in the Antarctic. Tropical areas are hot. They get a lot of rain. Hurricanes occur in tropical waters. So this is actually a picture of a hurricane from the sky looking down on it. And you can see in the middle, this is called the eye of the storm, the middle of the hurricane. Temperate areas can be hot. They can be cold too. They have seasonal weather. Tornadoes can happen here. Meteorologists study weather. That's this big long word, meteorologists. That's the weathermen that you see on the news. They're meteorologists. John Dalton was a meteorologist. He kept daily records of the weather. That means every day he wrote down what the weather was like. Meteorologists try to predict the weather. So here's the weatherman on the news, and he's telling you what he thinks the weather is going to be like. They can warn people about storms. This saves lives. So if there's a big snowstorm coming or a hurricane or a tornado, the meteorologist can let people know so they can get somewhere safe and be away from the danger of the storm. Think about it. It's important to learn about weather. What's the weather like near you? And as I said before, we have temperate weather. That means our weather changes with the seasons. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. In the summer, we have the warm weather. In winter, it gets really cold sometimes. All right, so boys and girls, your assignment today is just to read this little poem. And let's take a look at it. So, we haven't gotten to do a lot of poetry this year, and I really like to do poetry. And this one, I know poetry is kind of reading, but science and social studies includes lots of other subjects too. So we need to practice reading in science and social studies too. So this poem is called Weather Ways, and it's written by Vivian Coolid. Okay, so you can practice reading it. Whatever the weather, we have it each day. It's hot or it's cold, or it's sunny or gray. It's blowy or snowy, or rainy or clear. There's some kind of weather each day of the year. So, boys and girls, I would like you to practice reading this poem. And maybe if you need help with some of the words, someone at home can help you. But it's a nice poem and you can color the kids. Now, you do not have to send this poem back into with your folder. You can keep it at home, keep it as something else to practice reading with, okay? So I am going to read it one more time, and I hope that you will read along with me. Ready? Whatever the weather, we have it each day. It's hot or it's cold or it's sunny or gray. It's blowy or snowy or rainy or clear. There's some kind of weather each day of the year. So practice reading this poem, color the kids, and have a great Monday, boys and girls. I'll see you with more weather tomorrow.